Hello.
Hello, sir.
You're able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
You please
Yes, sir.
put on the camera also. Hello, the other student is there? Good. Whether you are listening any background music?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Okay, doesn't matter. This screen you are able to see?
Sir. Yes, sir.
See, this we have a series of lectures known as Padma Shri Dr. S.R. Valluri Memorial Lecture Series. This is held on all Saturdays. The timings will be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is a virtual program through Zoom. All are welcome irrespective of their geographical locations. You may be staying anywhere, you can get connected. Thanks to Corona for having made this possible. See, actually we started this on 11th December, the first session. So far we have had 9 sessions. Today is the 10th session of this series of lectures using Zoom platform. Actually, it was to be held yesterday, but yesterday there was some unavoidable circumstances. Therefore, we have postponed that for today. The topic for today is user-friendly interactive programming using C programming language. Learn free from any place, learn free at any time, learn free at any pace. That means you can learn slow, fast, anything like that. This is something like today's Atmanirbhar Bharata initiative. You can say like that. This series of lecture programs we have planned to be like not just like lectures, one person talking and others are listening. We will try to use a discussion type wherever possible, so that we can exchange ideas among the participants, including the speaker. This is for encouraging everybody in terms of thinking, in terms of learning, in terms of problem solving, and in terms of understanding the topic of interest. The resulting multiple points of view is expected to help us to build better knowledge, understanding, and interpretation of the topics which we will be discussing. Now, C is one of the programming languages which is nearer to the user and also nearer to the machine. See, earlier we had languages for programming, something called machine language. The machine language was nearer to the machine, but it was not convenient to the user. Then programming languages came. Languages like Fortran, COBOL, ALGOL, like this, several programming languages came. So the languages which are the language of which we can understand, they are nearer to the user of the computer. But if you write the program in those programming languages, the machine will not understand, because machine understands only binary language. So there was need for a program that can translate whatever the user writes and convert it into a suitable form so that machine can use it to solve the problems as per the instructions given by the users. So C is one of the language where it will also work nearer to the machine. It will also work nearer to the user. Here, language, there are standards. That means certain rules have been generalized and kept. But the manufacturers and users of the computers, they have to use that translation program, which we call it as a compiler, C compiler. So what is written in the standards and what is implemented on the machine, a particular machine which uses that particular compiler, there will be slightly differences will be there. So we'll try to learn those things which are usually common for most of the compilers, most of the computer systems and the users, so that whatever instructions we give following those rules, machine will be able to obey. So here there will be theory papers and also practical question examinations. So practical examinations will be in laboratories, where on the computer you have to type the program and show the execution with sample data. So if it works, marks will be given, otherwise the marks may not be given. Whereas in the theory, computer is not there, but we will try to write only instructions, so that if we can write those things and somebody can type that information into the computer using the available keyboard like that, then whoever types at any part of the world, they will be able to produce the results as per the program. So we will try to learn those things which are common for everybody, so that we can write really good programs which will be user friendly and also they will be interactive. So all languages, whether speaking languages like Kannada, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, Marathi, anything like that, including the programming languages like Fortran, COBOL, ALGOL, Pascal, C, like this, the language has got a character set. So languages, what we have to learn in English or Kannada or Hindi like that is, though the pronunciation may be almost same, like I-E, but the script will be different. So therefore it is difficult to learn. So the C programming language designers, they have eliminated the difficulty of learning the writing of the character set. They have used what is commonly already people know. So they use the English language letters and the decimal number system digits and some special characters. All this put together is called the character set. So whatever the compiler writer has taken into account, only such characters only we can use. We cannot use more than that. Now character set in C language, like in any other language, is mainly divided into three main types. One is letters, and another is digits, and another is special characters. So letters, digits, characters will be sufficient to represent any information. Information in computer language is called data. Data refers to singular form and also plural form. That means if there are say 12 or 15 information, different informations is there, it is also called data. If a single information is there, that is also called data. So singular or plural form, we use the data, it means information. So to make the learning language simple, the letters used in the C programming language are the English alphabets, so which we already studied. Particularly those studied in the English medium, they have used it several times compared to those who have learned in Canada. There will be only one subject in English language. These English alphabets are 26 in numbers starting from A to Z. But there is something called uppercase letters and lowercase letters. In common language, uppercase letters are called the big letters and lowercase letters are called the small letters. In the typewriter or computer keyboard, there will be a letter shift. That letter shift key, if you press, you get that uppercase letters. If without pressing that, you will get the lowercase letters. See, typically uppercase letters will be looking like this. So 26 numbers are there starting from A to Z. I have arranged them like A to I, 9 letters are there. J to R, 9 letters is there. 9 plus 9 is 18. Then only 8 more letters are there. So that is starting from S to Z. Now in handwriting, the style of writing will be different from person to person. So what is important is we have to identify each character in the character set different from the other character. Now lowercase letters again 26 are there. Handwriting will be something like this. Decimal digits, deci means 10. So decimal digit, there are 10 different symbols used. So they are 0 to 9. Handwriting wise, it will be like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now special characters, one of the important character is the blank or space. That means we use the space bar. So that we cannot show it on the paper. We have to leave a gap, that's all. But one of the method is we write a B and put a cross mark there. So which indicates the blank. So other student camera is off, Please keep it on so that I will know what we'll be doing. So few slides I will give you the very fundamentals which you may be knowing, but with this if you know something, it will become more clearer, and suppose something is not known, that will become also clearer. So blank space is one of the important special character. This is produced by pressing the space bar. Space bar, if you press, you get a space. So that is called blank. So it is not visible for us. So in paper, when we write to give a space, instead of just giving space there, we will put a letter B like this, and we will put a stroke. It can be horizontal or it can be inclined like this at around 45 degrees, like that in the writing, just for convenience. So handwriting, it can look something like that. Now, special characters are the other keys that are available in the keyboard. So here we have 3 pairs of brackets. Now, these brackets are called parentheses, whereas these are called braces, and this is called brackets. So they will call this as rectangular bracket. This they will call it as a flower bracket. This is they will call it as a simple bracket. Then we need some type of symbol between different quantities for doing arithmetic operations. So we have the 4 symbols: plus for addition, minus for subtraction, for multiplication we use the star symbol, and division is this one which is called the slash. Now here, this is not a single symbol. So character set means if equal to is there, then this is not required. It only this is required. Similarly, these are not coming under the character set. They are combination of the characters we are using. This is not a separate this one character. So this equal to here, 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 here is not required, and also this less than, greater than symbol is coming here. So only that much is enough. So I am just showing that these are the comparisons we make: equal to, not equal to. For not equal to, we use this exclamatory mark and the equal to sign, and less than, only this is used, greater than this one. Less than or equal to means we have to use both the symbols. We don't have a single symbol. In mathematics, we try to write a line here itself, making it a single symbol. Here we have to write both. Similarly, greater than or equal to means it will be like this. Now, this is called hash symbol. This is and symbol, we can call it. Full stop, comma, colon, semicolon, single quotation, double quotation mark, question mark. This is called backslash, forward slash. This is called backslash, and here it is the forward slash. This is a vertical line. So this is what I have given here, exclamatory mark, which is used to indicate the not operation. Then at symbol, dollar, and this percentage symbol. This one, some people call it as caret. It is for something like rating something, raised to the power of something like that. And this is called underscore symbol. This is the minus, but this is the underscore. It comes at the bottom level somewhere here. So some of these things are enough for us because there will be additional things will be added as and when necessity comes. For example, the currency symbol dollar, maybe it is replaced by the pounds also in England, capitals. So in India, this may be replaced by a rupee symbol also may be there. So we will take these things as the special characters. So handwriting slightly differs like this. What is important is see opening bracket of this type, letter C, there should be clear difference. And writing the C, small letter C and capital letter C, you should be able to identify with difference. Number 2 and the letter Z, they might be written such a way that they are easy to distinguish between the two. Like that, some of them you have to do. And in the computer typing, what happens? Small letter L and the decimal number 1, they look almost same type only. So in handwriting, we must try to show the differences there. So those differences are maintained, then it will be all right. This is for writing programs in theory papers for examination purpose, so that whatever we write is clear, correct, and complete for the examiners who go through the papers. They should be able to distinguish the characters one from the other. So character set therefore has got 26 letters which are of the uppercase and 26 from the lower case, and 10 decimal digits are there. Special characters are specifically put 1 plus 31 because 1 is a invisible character, because that is blank or space which you cannot see in the printing, plus 31 which are printable or visible type of characters. So 26 plus 26, 52, this is 62, 64 plus 30. How much is that? 64 plus 30. You have to unmute the mic and then you can tell.
94, sir.
It becomes 94. 64 plus 30 is 94. Now we have to learn something about constants. Now in the dictionary meaning of constant is any quantity that remains constant, they will say, which remains unchanged. But we will not be able to understand correctly what is a constant. So here we can say something of this type, that is values which remain unchanged during the solution of a problem. While solving a problem, we may have several pieces of information. Some values do not change, some values may change. So items which do not change their value in solving a problem, while solving a problem, they are called constants. So some of the examples we have come across is something like pi. What is pi? Any idea?
Constant value.
No. What is pi? You can keep the mic on, no problem. No? If there is no disturbance, you can have that. Otherwise, you have to unmute and then speak so that I can listen. And what is pi?
Mm,
Any idea?
no, sir.
What is pi? Any idea? We have used it, huh?
Sir, it is a value. It is
Pi is used
3.14.
in the calculations, is it not? Several times you have used.
It's a constant value.
Yeah. What is that?
3.14.
No, it is not that. See, pi is the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. So any circle you take, measure the circumference, then divide that value by the diameter of the circle. Then what you get is that number. Now this happens for circle of any diameter. So how to find that? For example, in the paper, you draw a big circle. Circle has no starting point or ending point. It is a continuous curve. Is it not? So therefore, what you can do is, on the circle what you have drawn, you just mark a point on the circumference at one place. Now take a thread and keep it on that circumference. Then spread the thread, measure the length. That gives the circumference. Similarly, if you have like pressure cooker at home, we can say it is a circular cross section type of thing, cylindrical thing. You take a thread and take it one round like this. Then where this two threads will be touching at one point, there make a ink mark. So what happens? Ink mark comes on 2 points. One in the starting point of one thread and another is the at the ending point, because thread is longer, is it not? Now open the thread, measure the distance between the two ink marks. That gives the circumference. Now you have to measure what is the diameter of the vessel. Divide that length, what you got by using the thread, by this one, you get the same number. So pi is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. So approximate value of pi we use is 27, 22 by 7, like that. But it is not a actual value, it is a approximate value. It is for simplifying calculations, because olden days calculations were done mentally before the calculators came, and there were something called slide rules. So using the slide rules, they were able to calculate little faster, and of course there were logarithm tables also. So now we know what is pi. You might answer so that I will know whether you are understanding or not.
Yes, sir.
Please keep the mic on only, no problem. If a cross sound comes, then I can tell you. I always kept actually, while sending the link, I have kept the mic on for everybody, mic as well as the camera. Okay. So
Okay,
Kushi, you are able to hear?
yes, sir.
Now you are able to say what is pi now?
Yes, sir.
What is pi?
Circumference by diameter.
It is the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. Whatever circle is taken, divided by the same diameter, you get the value, a number you get. That number is called the pi. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you will be able to tell anybody what is pi. Maybe all your friends will not be able to tell, no, because it was not specifically taught as a definition of pi. So that is the reason. Okay. Now this pi value, it will be taken like 3.14. So 22 by 7 is approximate value. 3.14 will be there. 3.1415, like that. Anyway, see, pi value we may take like 3.14 or 142, 3.1415, 3.1415926.36. Like this, some people have found the value of pi correct to 4,000 decimal places. That ratio is not divisible exactly. It keeps on continuing number of digits. So depending on the calculator, what is the number of digits it can display, there will be something like 7-digit calculator, 10-digit calculator, like that. So you get the answer correct to that many places only. So next item is the acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity, is it constant or variable?
It varies
How?
because on different surfaces,
Huh? Huh?
gravitational pull is different for
What is that?
different
What is that?
for different surfaces. It will
Ah,
vary.
see here, G varies from one place to another place, because it depends on the height above the something like we can say center of the earth. So at the poles, the value of G will be how much compared to the value of G at the equator? what is the value of G at the poles compared to value of G at the equator? You'll be able to say something?
Mm. At the equator, it's
See,
9.
Earth is considered as a partly flattened sphere. It is not a sphere. If it is a sphere, then from the center of the sphere, any point on the surface of the sphere is at the same distance. But Earth is a partly flattened sphere. So poles are nearer to the center of the Earth than the equator. So the surface of the Earth at the equator is at a little distance far away from the center of the Earth compared to the surface of the Earth at the poles measured from the center of the Earth. Therefore, value of G will be more at which place? At poles or equator?
At poles.
Poles. So, suppose you purchase something like gold at equator. The weight of that will be G times the mass. Now, you sell it for the same price at the poles. You will make profit because the weight of the same mass of gold will be more at the poles because G is more. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, on the surface of the moon, G is only 1/6 of the value of the G on the surface of the earth. So if someone is having something like, actually that is a different subject itself. For example, you are studying in engineering course. You are not studying in engineering, but these subjects are of engineering type only. So, but anyway, I will give you some idea. Now, can you tell me what is your weight? People will ask, every time. What is your weight? Can you tell me?
40, sir.
Huh?
40
What is 40?
That is
kg.
mass.
Huh? Now, what is your weight? I am asking.
The 40 kg.
40 kg. Who said that one?
Kushi, sir.
What about you?
Sir, 50.
50 is what?
Kg.
Kg. See, here you say there is a lot of confusion about the weight and the mass. It was there long back also. Now also it is there. In SI system, that confusion is removed. Because in SI system, what they have done is, whenever you say kg, it is called mass. And whenever you say weight, it will be in newtons. That means, suppose W is the weight, M is the mass, G is acceleration due to gravity, then W is equal to mg. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
So that means G is like 9.81 and it may be given as 9.8 in the question paper for simplifying purpose. I have seen many question papers where they will write take G is equal to 10 meter per second square. It is for simplifying the calculations. But if you go to British system, it is like 32.2 feet per second square. Before that, there was centimeter gram second system. There it is 981 centimeter per second square, like that. So, if mass is in kg, G is in meter per second square, then W will be m into G. That will have mass kg multiplied by the meter per second square. The combined unit of that is called Newton. Now, roughly, G we can take it as 10. So, if you say you are having 40 kg, your weight is 40 kg, the correct unit of the weight will be, you have to say multiply by this 10 and the unit will be Newton. That is, instead of 40 kg, you have to say 400 newtons. And instead of 50 kg, it is 500 newtons. That is the correct unit of weight. Weight, force, they are the same. That is different from the mass. So those who are studying in engineering, particularly I will tell them, if anybody asks what is your weight, don't tell 40 kg, 50 kg, 60 kg like that. Add a zero, that is multiplying by 10 for rough calculation, and give the answer as Newton. But unfortunately, there were two different systems of units of measurement, which you might have studied in P.U.C also. So one is called gravitational system, another is something called absolute system. So the absolute system, they used mass as fundamental unit, and weight is calculated using the Newton's law of motion. That is F is equal to M.A. Now, if acceleration A is represented by G, then instead of F is equal to M.A, it is W is equal to mg. You are able to follow? So
Yes,
M
sir.
is in mass, that is kg, whereas W is in Newton. That is the correct unit. Otherwise, in solving problem, there will be mistakes, and you will confuse kg, whether it is mass or weight, like that. So what happens? Answers will come either 10 times more or less if it is this system, or 1000 times more if it is in this system, or about 30 times more or less in this system. So you must differentiate between mass and weight, which are connected by the acceleration due to gravity, and they have their own unit. So weight unit will be Newton, mass will be kg, and acceleration due to gravity is meter per second square. Okay. Then you have any idea about what is E?
Mm,
E is called the base of natural logarithm. Do you have a scientific calculator?
No, sir.
Why you don't use scientific calculator?
You're not allowed, sir. You're not
Huh?
allowed to use.
No,
Only
no,
simple calculator.
no. Exam purpose it is okay. In the house you can use,
Yeah.
In the house you can use. While working problems, verifying the answers, etc., you can use. Examination, it is, if you do not allow, it is okay. But here you can use. So this is called base of natural logarithm. So in logarithm, there are two types. One is called common logarithm. That is there in the common logarithm table. And natural logarithm, where there is another table called natural logarithm, there the base is E. When the base is 10, it is called common logarithm. So just like pi, the values used for E, the base of natural logarithm is 2.718 or 2.71828, or it is something like this. Afterwards, it will change. It will not be, same pattern will not be repeating also. Similarly, those of you who have studied physics, you will know what is mu naught. You have any idea? In physics in P.U.C, it was there. Mu naught is called the permeability of the free space or vacuum. It is 4 pi into 10 to the power of -7 Henry per meter. Similarly, this epsilon naught, it is called the permittivity of free space. It is 8.854 into 10 power -12 farads per meter. So these are some of the ideas of the constants. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, constants in mathematics, generally the book will say the letters in the beginning of the alphabet are commonly used for representing constants. That means the small letters like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. I have taken up to that. In the books, they will write A, B, C, dot, 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 they will write. They are generally used for representing constants in mathematics. But using C language, we can't have that Greek letter pi. So maybe we can use like P followed by I together. That can be used for representing constant in the C language, because single letter we do not have a symbol for that. The examples we have used for variables are R, D, A, P. Say R is, for example, radius of a circle. D is for diameter of a circle. A is area of the circle. P is perimeter of the circle. Like that. You're able to follow? So
Yes,
when
sir.
making calculations, when substitute one value, the all other values depend on whatever we substitute, so they will change. So variables are of two types. One is called independent variable, another is dependent variable. For example, if radius is given, we can find DAP, that is diameter, area, perimeter. Is it not? Now, value we get for D or A or P depends on what we substitute for R. Is it not? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So here R is called independent variable because we are giving some value. We can give any value we want. But the value of the diameter, area, and the perimeter, they depend on what value is substituted for R. So these are called the dependent variables. And if you see the mathematics textbooks, there they will use the letters from the end of the alphabet. That means beginning we are using for the constants, like A, B, C, D. Ending means after the letter N, O will come. Is it not? So O we will not use for representing constant or variable because we may confuse with 0, because the rating of O and 0 will be similar like that. So that is not used for representing a constant or a variable. And after O, there is P, Q, R, etc. up to the Z. So those letters we use for representing variables in mathematics. So we are going to use the problems which are coming from mathematics. It is better to have some idea so that we can use in that fashion, so that there will be less confusion and less mistakes will be there. Now, actually we will perform what is called as algebraic operations. That is difference between arithmetic and algebra. What is the difference? Can you give me some idea? If you know, what is the difference between arithmetic and algebra?
Arithmetic has no only numbers, but algebraic operations have variables also.
No. See, we have used the symbol like pi, mu, e, g, etc. We have used the English letters also to represent constants in the numbers. Is it not? So value can be given as 3.14, 142, like that also we can write. Or we can use G also for that. Similarly, pi, 22/7 we can use. 3.14 we can use. Otherwise, we can write say Pi to represent the constant. Is it not? So there also we use the names instead of putting the value, because the value of pi depends on what system we are using. See, pi value, it is 3.14 in one problem, another 3.142, like that they may give. But in solving a particular problem, they will say take P is equal to this much and do their thing like that. So, difference between arithmetic and algebra, I learned from a person who was going in villages, discontinuing studies after the 4th year of primary school. Because the village had only primary school, for middle school, we had to go 2 kilometers away to the neighboring village. So many people will discontinue and they will go for grazing the cattle. That means in Kannada, Dana kayak hogtare. Because we have to control them so that they will not eat the food grains, take them to the area where grass is available so that they will eat themselves on their own and bring back in the evening and give back the cows to the houses from where they have taken in the morning. So that person he asked me when I was going for the 5th standard in the neighboring village. He asked me, Swami, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೋಬಲ್ಲಿ ₹1 ಇದ್ರೆ ₹2 ಕೊಡಕ್ಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತಾ? So in middle school there was algebra. So he said 1 minus 2 is -1. He just laughed. I asked, why are you laughing? He said, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೋಬಲ್ಲಿ ₹1 ಇದ್ರೆ you cannot give ₹2. So he says, whatever you study beyond 4th standard is useless. That was his argument. That is actually the difference between arithmetic and algebra. In arithmetic, you cannot subtract a big number from small number. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You're able to follow or not?
sir.
In arithmetic, we cannot subtract a big number from small number. But in algebra, we can subtract any number from any other number. But there also you see, if you want to subtract a small number, a big number from small number, actually what we do? We subtract the small number from the big number only there also. But we'll attach the sign of that big number. Say 4 minus 9. When you write 4 minus 9, it means what? Subtract 9 from 4, is it not? But actually what we will do? We'll subtract 4 from 9. We get 5. Then we will attach the sign of the big number. Big number is 9, which has a minus sign. So it will become -5. Like that. So here we will use only algebra. We will not use arithmetic because we can subtract anything from any other number. So the algebraic operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. In addition to this, we can use the powers, means raising to a power, and roots, square root, cube root, etc. These things will be there. Now, the type of operators for performing the operations. So we will have the variables, we will have the constants, and we want to do these operations like multiplying, dividing, subtracting, adding, raising to power, etc. So we will use plus for addition, minus for subtraction. And we use for star symbol for multiplication. For division, we will use a slash. These are used between the two quantities. Now, powers, square root, and truncation in C language. Power, in some languages, if you use stars twice, 2 stars, one after the other, that is for raising to a power, say in Fortran language like that. But here we have a ready-made program, which is called POW. Within this type of parenthesis, you have to say A, comma B. Now, this A and B values will be taken to the program whose name is POW. There, it will raise the A value to the power of the B value. That is A to the power of B, it will calculate. And result will come back through this name itself here. So this is like supplying the data A and B. It will go to that program area, calculate, and bring back the result in this name. So this is used for making power. Similarly, for square root, we have SQRT. Within bracket, whatever item is there, we can give. But there will be restrictions here. Can you find the square root for every number?
No, sir.
Which one we cannot find?
Imaginary number.
No. See, we can find the square root only for positive numbers. Negative number, we cannot find square root. Square root of 0 will be taken as 0 only. But there is no square root of a negative number. So therefore, when you want to take square root, the value of which we want to take square root, first it is better to check whether it is greater than 0 or not. Greater than or even equal to 0 is also okay, but it should not be negative. If it is negative, the computer will say there is some error. So here, there will be two types of errors in the programs. One is syntax error. That means there may be typing mistake. That is one type. Whereas this type of a mistake, it comes at the execution type of at the time of program execution. So that will not be detected by the compiler. Compiler will say successfully compiled. But when you substitute, when x becomes negative there, square root of minus number, it cannot find out. So it will give an error message and stop functioning, depending on the program. So in addition, in C language, there is a program called trunk. I think we have to put a C also here. TRUNC, trunk. Trunk means truncate. That means this P is a number which has several decimal points. Like we wrote 3.1415926 like that. So if pi value is put here, it will give only 3. That means it will cut off or ignore the fractional part. Anything that comes after the decimal point. And whole number only it will give. So that is another operation available in the C programming language. Now we will go for an example. For this purpose, I think I will change the we will do something now here. So actually, I want to give something like some more information before going for program writing. But what we will do is, so to have a look at how a program looks like, and we are interested in making a program which is user friendly plus interactive. So how to do that? So here there is a pattern of how we should write the program. It is just like a printed application form where some portions we will fill up, other place it will be there only like that. So since you might have already written and processed several programs, the first line will start with a hash symbol, and it will say include. Then we can give a space here. This type of a bracket is also used, but some people call it angular bracket like that. So that is used here. So here we will write stdio.h and close the bracket. Now you have any idea what is stdio.h?
Standard input output.
Tell me, correct.
Standard input output.
It is called standard input output. It is a file. So that will there information will be there of several programs which can use that procedure which is already written there. It is for available free for all other users, so that we don't have to write how to find a particular calculation, and that program is available in that file. So that we have to include when using our program. So that is the purpose of that. So then we will say include conio.h. What is this one? What is conio.h? Any idea? It is called console input output. See, olden days, there was a huge big computer center, and there was an operator's console from which he was operating. That consists of a keyboard and also a monitor. Now, every computer user is the owner of the computer. So they have a keyboard and also a display. So input is that keyboard. Console input is through keyboard, and output is through the display, that what you are seeing on the screen. So this program is necessary for using some of the standard functions which are already written by these compiler writers and kept ready for use by the users. So this is one of the functions. Now it is possible that we want to use that power, POW, square root, SQRT, truncation, like that. They are kept in another file that is called math.h. So mathematical functions like logarithms, anti-logarithms, square roots, this that is power, POW, truncation, log, anti-log, both in common logarithm and natural logarithm. Then trigonometric quantities like sine of an angle, cos of an angle, tan, etc. Then inverse angles. Then hyperbolic functions, inverse hyperbolic functions. All such things are available in this function called math.h. So when we are making use of calculations using those quantities, we have to include this one. So we will keep it this much only here. This is written simply blindly in all programs. Here extra is there. If we don't use it, is okay. That means we can say include math.h, but we may not make calculations using square root or POW or any other thing like that, mathematical functions. So if extra is there, compiler will not worry. But without this, if you use, then it will say undefined procedure. That means function is not defined, so we cannot calculate the value. That is the thing. So after this, next what we write, it depends on your compiler. So what compiler you have in with you in your computer?
Sir, TC7 and code blocks.
Huh?
PC7, Turbo C7 and code blocks.
Okay. So either you can use that code blocks or you can use the turbo C. There is difference in method of writing this step. So one of them requires void main, then open close bracket of this type. Another system, instead of the void here, it will say it requires int. So it depends on the compiler. So depending on the compiler, this we will be changing. If you say void here, see, I told you while explaining the square root function and POW function, there POW I said within bracket there is A comma B. A comma B will be taken to the program. There A to the power of B is calculated. That result is brought by that name POW to the place where we are calculating. So in C program, writing the name enclosing with something like this pair of parentheses is called as a function. And we will have collection of functions. Some of them are user defined. That means we will write what to do. Some of them are already ready-made functions which are there in the compiler. They are called by different names like library functions or built-in functions like that. So these functions can take some input and bring some output. Here between this set of parentheses there is nothing is there. Is it not? That means main function will not take any input from the user. It won't give any result also. That is means it is the void here. Now the compiler writers have written such a way that the first program or first function that is executed in the computer is by this name main. It will search for this and then do what is given under that. Now here we have to start with, say, this kind of a bracket. We have to start with this type of a bracket. So after this one, we can have a closing bracket for that. They must match. They are called pair of brackets. So as I told you, the names given here is, they are called braces, and some people call it a flower bracket because it looks like flower. Now between this pair of brackets, whatever comes is called as a block of information. Whatever comes between this opening and closing brackets, that is called a one block of information. Now the beginning of the block is indicated by this and end of the block by the other one. So this function will contain this block of information. So this block may be only one. There may be one block inside another, like that can be there. Now, before using the computer for problem solving, we have to identify what are the constants that we come across in the problem, in the formulas, and what are the variables that we come across in the formulas. What is given or known and what we want to find out. So both these things we have to understand. So if we take this example of finding the diameter, area, perimeter of a circle, when radius is given, then we should have written down the formulas for calculating them. Now you see, area is equal to, what is the formula when the radius is known?
Pi r square.
Pi r square. So there pi is there, that is a constant. There is a 2, that is a constant. The variable is r. So when r changes, the value of area changes. So r is called independent variable because we keep on substituting different value for r. but we get corresponding value of A. A will get the value which depends on the value of R that is substituted. So we have the dependent variable A and independent variable R. Now, how do we find the diameter when the radius is given?
R plus R.
Either R plus R, R2 into R like that. But we always try to use the addition wherever possible in preference to multiplication, because addition is the fastest operation that computer can perform. Subtraction, it will take little more time. Multiplication, much more time. Division, still extra. Then it is calculating like sin x, cos x, etc., trigonometric functions, logarithmic, etc. It will take again much more time. So addition is the fastest operation. So we try to use addition to the maximum extent possible. So now we know pi is a constant, is it not? So I already told you, when defining the constants and variables in the beginning, that we do not have a symbol like Greek letter pi in the C language. So we have to use something like pi. Some people write pye also, like that, different symbol. Whatever we feel, we can write. But we have to tell in the beginning that this is the type of a variable or a constant that we are using, so that when we use that, it will use the corresponding value. So first is, what are the values, what are the variables we are having here, including independent and dependent variables. We have R for radius, D for diameter, then for area A, perimeter P, like that we can use. So whether they can have the round figure or whether they can have any fractional part also. So that is important. So we cannot use here integer or A, D, P like that. It must be float, because our data may contain fractional parts also. If fractional part is not there, maybe you can write 2.0, that is all right. But value 2.5, 3.17, 14.68, such values you should be able to accommodate. So therefore, we will write float there. Then radius we are going to use, and we will be calculating diameter. Then we will calculate the area. Then we will calculate the perimeter. Now that pi is there, we have to name something and keep a value there, which we are not going to change, but name will be there. So I will select pi to represent pi. So everybody see this type of a thing is called a statement. So the statement, all statement must end with the semicolon. I think here is one step you have missed there, that is got deleted. So there it will be starting from that block. You are able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many problems we are going to solve here? Whether it is only one single problem or many problems. So if it is a single problem, nobody will write a program to get the answer. We can use calculator, we can use logarithm table, we can use slide rule, or manually also we can work. It will take a little more time, that's all. But generally, all problems which are processed by using computer are of two main types. One is, there is infinite amount of data, that is large quantity of data is available, but processing is done only once. That is one variety. Another variety is, there is less data, but there is repeated calculation several times. So each one time processing gives some new result that will be used as a data again, like that, repeatedly processing. So they are suitable for computer processing. But most of our problems and academic interest, that is what is learned in colleges, etc., they come somewhere in between. That means we will not have infinite data, but reasonably small amount of data only. And we want to process not one time, but several times. So here we will decide that Pi will have certain value. So we have to decide what is the accuracy we want in the calculations. So accordingly, we have to put the value. So we can put 3.14, 3.142, 3.1415, 3.1415926536, like that. Any number of digits we can put. But this value remains the same. We will not change it in this program. When you write another program, maybe we can have a different value of pi if we are interested in more accuracy. So for example, I will take here 3.142. So that means before using pi in any formula, its value must be defined here, so that that value will be used in its place. It will substitute that value over there. Now we have to tell the user that please enter the value of radius, so that when we run, computer should indicate something to the user, whoever is using the program. So therefore there we come across that printf type of thing. Here we use this type of a bracket only. Then we have to give a message. That message will be like double quote. Here we will say something like, please enter value of radius. Maybe you can put equal to, you can give a space, close that one, and semicolon you can make. Now you see what happens. In the computer screen, if somebody has used or we have used earlier, there will be some information on the display. So therefore, it is preferable that we erase the thing and start from a fresh page. So for that purpose, we will use here a function which is CLR It is called clear screen, so that we will not start writing the answers for our problem somewhere in the middle or at the bottom, wherever the cursor is there at that moment of time. So this one we can use. That will be available in that conio.h file. So therefore, if that conio.h is not there, then computer will say, this I am not able to understand. So here, because it is a function defined, we will try to put the thing like this. That means it will not take any input here. So it will go to the function where this one is there. Then it will do whatever is specified in that place. That means it will clear the screen and cursor will go to the top here, so that it is on the starting position of the first line. Now, either we can start from the first line itself to print our message, or we can give a space. So we can type a \n, so that this will give you something like new line carry as control character. So that means cursor will be taken to the beginning of the next line. That means one line at the top will come free, so that our message is not exactly at the border of the screen. One line below it will come. So we can arrange like that. So now, for the user to enter the data, the computer must wait, and whatever he enters, he should take it. So for that purpose, we use a scanf statement. Here we will use the double quotation, we will tell what type of data we are giving. If the values contain fractional parts also, it may contain fractional. So here we give a specification of what is our data variety. So it will be like percentage F quotation. So we are telling here that our data will be of this floating point type. So this what we define here, and this type must be matching. Otherwise, mismatch means what computer does is not predictable, because it depends on the compiler writer. Compiler writer may ignore certain things and take the data in some fashion and work out. But some people where they have written strict rules, it may not accept and you will not be able to write the program. Now, here, whatever the user enters the value, it must be taken to the place where this allocation of memory is made for storing the value of R in the computer. So that we say here briefly by typing AND R. So AND is called the address operator. That means it indirectly tells scanf means wait for the user input. Whatever he enters from the keyboard, take that value, store it at the memory location which is allotted for keeping the value of R in the computer memory, using this particular pattern of storing the information that will be given there. So that means at the execution time, it will print this and it will wait for user to input. So cursor will be there, after that equal to sign only. So whatever he enters, once you put the value and press enter key, it will take that value, go to the memory location where this to which location this R is allotted, and store it in this particular pattern. So that means storage will be to accommodate any fractional part that comes as the data. So that means now we have the value of the R in the computer memory. So once we have the data in the computer memory, now we can go for calculations. Calculation can be done in any pattern that we want. That means first, if you want, you can calculate diameter, next area, then perimeter. Or you can calculate first perimeter, then diameter, then area, or any other sequence. The sequence is left to us. Some problems, the sequence may affect the results if one is depending on the other. If they are independent, there will not be any effect. So let us say we will calculate the area. So area, we are using the letter A, which is defined here in the beginning there. So we will write A equal to, now it is pi R square. So pi, we have stored the value in the location Pi. So we will write Pi. Then we will use multiply. Then I can say R, again multiply and R. This will be faster. Otherwise, we have to write Pi star POW within bracket R comma 2. That also we can write. You are able to follow? But that takes more time. So here, instead of this, we can say Pi multiplied by POW, then there is opening bracket R comma 2 bracket close. What happens if you write like this? It will take the value of R and number 2, which is here, to the place where this POW is available, which is available in that math.h folder. Calculate R to the power of 2, that is R square. Bring that result in this name, and that result you multiply by pi, and which will be kept in the name here, which is on the other side of the equal to sign. So calculations are done using the expression on the right side, and value is result is kept in the variable that is lifted here. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
So here we are not using this one, we are using that multiplication only. Now after A, you can calculate either diameter or perimeter. Sequence is not important. So only one affects the other, then only we have to carefully place these statements. So let us say we'll calculate diameter. It is equal to, either you can write 2 into R or R plus R. As I told you, addition is the fastest operation in the computer and for us also. So therefore, we will write R plus R and semicolon. So that is the statement there. That means value of R is taken from the memory location where it was stored. Again, the value of R is taken from the memory where it is stored. These two are added. The results will be kept at this name. That means in the memory location that is allotted for D in the computer memory. The allotment of the memory locations is made by that compiler which we are using. So now we have the perimeter. What is perimeter? Formula?
2 pi r.
2 pi r. Now 2 is a constant, pi is a constant. So instead of multiplying 2 and pi by using the computer, you can multiply ourselves. 3.142 multiplied by 2, it will become 6.284. So if you write like that, 6.284, you will save few microseconds. Instead of multiplying, the result itself you will be using. So it will be a efficient program. So 2 pi r will be there. So that is another one. So these are all called statements, and from the starting flower bracket to the ending one, that is called as one block. Now calculation is over. Now the result must be displayed on the screen so that user can note it down or do whatever he wants to do it. So for that purpose we use printf. This is available in the stdio file, standard input output file. This printf function is defined. So it will include that procedure and take this whatever is specified here, it will do that one. So we will say quotation, anything written within a pair of the double quotations will be printed. That is all the job of this. Now here, say here we have used first line blank, second line it has come. Cursor is at the end of the equal to sign after our value is entered. Now we might go to the beginning of the next line, and maybe we can give one line blank also. So that can be done by writing new line, new line. So first new line will bring the cursor from the end of the equal to sign and the number that is entered to the first line. And again new line means it will go to the beginning of the next line. So between, that means what it is printed now will be with a gap of one line after this heading, after this printing thing. So here we can say, while printing the results, only result we should not print. We should print the input data whatever supplied. It is because if only results are printed, if the results are not, we are not happy about the results, then there should be facility to check what was the input data that was made. Because basic principle of the computer data processing is, you know what is the, there is a acronym for that one. You have any idea? It is called GIGO. GIGO. You know what it is? You have heard about it?
No, sir.
Like, you can say yes or no, so that I will explain.
No, sir.
See, Gaigo means garbage in, garbage out. Anta. That means if you put the wrong data, answer what you get will be wrong only. That means you want to find the area of a circle when the radius value is 2 centimeters. But if you put 200 centimeter, it won't give the answer for 2, but it will give for 200, which may not be useful for us. You see, that is the thing. So here, the basic principle of computer data processing is, if you give the wrong data, the answers will not be one which we wanted. So therefore, I will say here, radius equal to, we will write percentage f, because we know radius we have taken the floating point type and it can have the fractional parts. So we will use this one. Then we will put the, here maybe we can give a space also. Then we can give this quotation. That is the closing actually, but computer gives that way on, so it doesn't matter. Then comma. Now we have to give the variable name only. That is R. See, in the scanf statement, that AND should be there because it indicates store this value in the address at the memory location which was allotted for the radius R. Now here it says take the value of radius and just print it using this pattern. That means this value of R is taken in this pattern. That means if there is a fractional part, it will keep that one. It will print between this and this, whatever is that is from here to here. This is the specification. So this message will come, radius equal to will appear, and afterward that value will come. This will give new line twice. First new line will bring the cursor from somewhere here to the beginning of the first line. Next one will bring here. That means there will be one line blank coming over there. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now let us say printf double quotation. Now here maybe one new line is enough. We don't have to give a gap between this result and this result. So we can say, again, we can print in any order we want. Sequence is not important, it won't affect. In what pattern we want, we can print. If we want area, first we can put area equal to, say, percentage f, then quotation, then comma. So for area, we use the letter A, like that. So then let us say diameter, let us print. We can print perimeter also first, afterward diameter doesn't. Whatever the order we want, we can print like that. print f. So double quotation, backslash n. Then we say if you want diameter equal to percentage f, quotation. Then here we have used the symbol D, so that will be there. Then one thing only left, that is perimeter. So you can say printf quotation backslash n perimeter equal to percentage f, quotation, comma. Perimeter we have used the letter P. This one. Now, if you just close the bracket there, result will come and it will go. It will exit from the program. So we have to hold that values in the screen so that user can note down whatever is interested. So here it is necessary to print a message also tell the user, you can note down the results like that. So I will say printf double quotation. So this is opening bracket. So here I will give one line blank. That is, results have come one after the other. We'll give a blank there. Then you will say, please note down the results. Like that, you can say something like that. So quotation, close the bracket, semicolon. Then you can say backslash n. If you want one line gap, you can give another one. Please press enter key to continue. We can say, if you want to continue. So this message will appear there. Then to hold it there, we have to say get CHA, open close this one. Now here you say this is also, it will not take any data, just like clear screen. But it will go to this program which is defined in that console input output. So then there it will say wait till the user presses a key. So here we are telling the user to press this enter key only, so that he will do that one. When he presses, it will go to the next step. So here we can, if you want, you can say printf backslash n. If you want to give a space another line, you can do another backslash n. Then you say thank you. Come again. Say we can also go to the next line. So we will put the now after this message, computer must wait. Is it not? So therefore, we can say please press enter key to quit. So backslash n quotation. So we will put get CHA, so that when you press only it will go. So here that closing that bracket will be there. That is, this has only one block of information that is processed. You are able to follow?
Yes, sir.
But here this program is able to take one radius value only, calculate the area, diameter, perimeter, and print the results along with the input data, so that it is useful for verifying whether the calculations is right or wrong, which you can manually check, maybe using calculator, logarithm table, or using longhand calculations, and check the accuracy of the results that is obtained. So once it is confirmed, then for any other value, it will similarly work. So that is the idea. But this kind of a program will not be useful. For example, we will write a program for reading something like marks obtained by different students in a class. It may be mathematics class, it may be SE language class, it may be data structure class, anything like that. So there are several sections in the college. One section has got 17 students, another has got 27, another class has got 67 students. But we want to have a single program so that it should take as many number of data values we give, calculate what is the average marks obtained by students in that particular section. The purpose is to classify the students into categories like above average students, below average students, and average students. Here, the actual purpose is once you identify who are the students which are below average and those who are average students, we can give them special classes and bring them to a higher marks level. That is the purpose. In that case, every time we don't have to run the program and use it. In this case, this program, if it is written, first you have to enter into the computer, then you have to do the compilation by pressing that tab which says compile. And if the rules what we have followed here and what is accepted by that particular compiler are matching, it will say compilation is successful. Then you can go for running the program. Then when you run, it will do this one, and at the end it will stop there. So if you want to solve another problem with a different value of radius, then you have to again press the run button again. Then it will again give the questions like that. Please enter radius value like that. And the operator will enter. Then it will calculate those three, display the results, and that will repeat. So to make it suitable for any number of data, what we will do is like this we will do. There are different methods, but one of the method is like this. Now, after this pi we are not going to change for this problem of calculating diameter, area, perimeter when radius of a circle is given, because the value remains 3.142. It is a constant value of pi for pi r square, 2 pi r, etc. like that. So here we have to use what is called a seed value for or initial value for testing purposes. So that will be something like this. Now what actually we have to do is, okay, we have come here now. So enter the value of radius. At this point we have the radius value. So after reading here, R value is available. So here, do you want to find the value where area of a circle or diameter, perimeter when the radius value is 0? Do you like to find? You must answer so that now you must understand whether you are following or not following. Suppose radius value, please enter radius value. I am entering 0. Whether you want to calculate the diameter, area, perimeter?
No, sir.
No. Because so here we'll define something called what is the end of data criteria. That means, as I told you, one section has got 17 students, another has 27, another has 67. Now here we can identify whether the data, input data, what you are giving is the actual value for making the calculations and printing the results, or it is a value that is given to decide whether to calculate or not. So if you put r is equal to 0 or r is equal to a negative value, then it will not become a circle. When r is 0, we get a point, and negative we cannot imagine. Draw the circle of -5 centimeter radius. Can we draw? We cannot draw. R has to be positive. So I will say here, while r greater than 0.0, because r we know is a floating point thing, we can't use integer type of thing. We will not put r greater than 0. We will put r greater than 0.0 because it depends on the compiler writer. If you follow the rules correctly, then it will work in all computers with all compilers. Now we will start another block. Now only if r is greater than 0, it will perform from this opening bracket to the closing bracket which we are going to put. So closing bracket where we will put? After printing here, we will print the results. Please note down the results is there, is it not? After this, maybe we can put this also. Please press enter key to continue. So there we can put a closing bracket so that it will go back. But you see, if we say only like that, it will repeat with the same data. So it is necessary to use here. So maybe at this place, so here I will say printf \n 7-line gap. Please enter next radius value. Now here we can try to give some information, something like this symbol what we give is not important, but these are generally used. So 0.0 to exit. Please enter next radius value. We will put and r this one. So here we are giving the hint to the user that he has entered all the data, because you see he will have a list of data values written in a sheet of paper or in a book. So when everything is over, we will use that end of data criteria which was used in designing the program. So here as a last value, we are asking the user to enter 0 so that to tell the computer that our job is over. Now we can come out of the system and hand over the control to the operating system so that someone else will use the computer. That is the idea. So here we have to put the scanf quotation percentage F quotation comma. This is no, actually here this is only a message. This is only a message. That's what it will be waiting there. Now here we'll give the so this one will automatically wait for user to enter the data. So whatever is entered, now we can say close this block. So once that is done, it will go back to that inner bracket which is opening here. Now before entering this, it will check is it r greater than 0. Yes means it will go from this, that is this block completely, it will execute. If it is not, that is either it is 0 or it is negative, it will leave this pair of matching brackets, which is one block of data now. So up to that, then it will come here. It will ignore that complete block. When it comes here, it has got please press enter key to either continue or exit you can make here, because there we have made for continuation. So here we can change it to exit. That means we have already written another one here, so that we can change. So we can put this message. So thank you, come again. Please press enter key to quit, and that one. So now this change has made the program repetitive. It can take any number of input data values, and end of data is decided by the user, which of course the hint is given by the programmer. Programmer will tell if you want to use this program, you can calculate area, diameter, perimeter for any number of circles by giving the value, entering the value of radius, and it becomes like the Alauddin's magic lamp. That means any data you give, it will immediately calculate, display result, take it, note down, and again it will ask for what is the next data, what is the next data, what is next. It won't stop at all. So method of stopping is decided by the programmer. So programmer who wrote this will give the hint that you can use 0 as a input data, which is not meant for processing of the data, but to indicate the computer system that my processing or my job is completed. Now you can hand over the control to the operating system, and then you can leave this execution of the program so that somebody else will use the computer. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now you see, whenever repetition this type of is there are so many types of statements available. But you see, it is something like the number of words available in the dictionary. For example, 20th century Chambers English Dictionary, the cover they will write it contains 85,000 plus words. So many words are there in the dictionary. One day I observed one of the student was reading like this from the first page of the dictionary. What he was reading was English Kannada dictionary. He was reading A.B.A.C.K. abak hatattage, A.B.A.C.K. abak hatattage, A.B.A.C.K. abak hatattage. He was reading like that. I asked him, what are you doing? He said, I want to learn speaking in English. So if I buy out the dictionary completely, then I can speak in English. But you see, all the words that I am speaking to you, one day I listed all the words what I normally speak for conveying any message to the other person. The list came like 1652 words only, because I am not using any difficult words. In fact, even in primary school, in Kannada books, after the lesson, they were writing Klishta Padagalu, which have come in the lesson. That means what are the difficult words that we came across in the book, in the lesson there. Next, he will say Klishta Padagala Artha, the meaning of the difficult words that were used in that particular lesson. So at that time itself, I had a doubt. That is, why are these people, first of all, using difficult words and trying to tell the meaning of the difficult words? Instead of that, they could have given the simple words so that everybody can understand. Is it not? So therefore, I always try to use only the minimum number of words available in the dictionary. Purpose is to convey the message what I wanted to convey to others. For that purpose, it is not required to learn that 85,000 plus words available. All of them, most of them look strange to me because I never used. So in the programming also, whether it is C programming language or any other language, if they ask for writing a program of this type, say this has become a sophisticated program, a user-friendly program, an interactive program, and it can handle any number of desired number of sets of data and keep on producing results for whatever the data we enter. We can stop it whenever we want. All this could be done by using that single one while type of a statement. So any problem we can do only with this, but as an academic interest, because there are different chapters in the book, they are mentioned in the syllabus, they may ask questions using this particular type of statement only. Then you have to write the program using that particular one. Otherwise, if they say write a program for this type of a thing, we can use this while, which is very powerful and simple, easy to understand, and you will be able to do write programs for any type of work that is required there. So what is important is, it is not just writing the program, you have to decide what are the normal values for input data we are going to supply. What is the criteria that we can use to determine the end of data? That is called end of data criteria. That is to stop the actual processing of the information using computer, using this particular program, and to hand over the control back to the operating system to indicate that our work is over. So this you have to use. If they ask specific statement only to be used, then that you have to use. So this has got advantage. It can take too flexible. It can process any number of sets of data that is available. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now, any doubts are there in this one?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Please tell, the other student is not at all speaking,
No
You might
doubt, sir.
tell so that I will know if there is difficulty, how to give some other example, explain like that. I want to know whether what I am telling is easy to understand, easy to remember, easy to practice, or what, easy to score marks in the examination, or there is any difficult problems are there, so that I can explain correctly, more clearly, more completely. That is the idea. So I must respond. That is why the interaction is needed. Otherwise, only listening will happen, and it will be like that.
No doubt, sir.
What about Kushi?
I'm understanding.
You are able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm understanding. Am I audible, sir?
Ah. Why? Someone else was there, huh?
No, sir.
Someone else was sitting there or what? No.
Network problem, sir.
Huh?
Network problem, sir.
I see. Okay, but anyway, there was not much problem was there, is it not? Are you using computer or the
Yes,
mobile?
sir. Mobile, sir.
Huh?
I'm using mobile, sir.
You're using mobile.
Yes,
Mobile.
sir.
You don't have computer at home?
Sir, I'm in my native, sir.
Huh?
I'm in my native. I'll be going back to Bangalore tomorrow. Then I'll be using.
Oh, I see. Okay. So what you have to do is you have understood the methodology, you know. So
Yes, sir.
you can try to enter the program like this. It is possible that, see, always, you know, we will be thinking of next step like that. So what happens, maybe I might have missed some character or anything like that, or some line I might have missed. So then what happens when you enter and compile, it will not say it is successfully compiled. So it may tell some errors are there, like that. And it depends on the particular compiler. There, in some of the compilers, some type of mistakes are assumed by itself. That is, even if it is wrong here, what you have given, you will try to imagine, maybe this is the way that we should imagine so that it can work. So in such case, it will say there are so many warnings, but results are produced. So that warning says that values may be right or wrong. To check that one, what you have to do is, manually you take the input data, use the formula that was given to the computer through the program, make the calculations yourself, keep the answers for few sets of data, compare your manual calculated results along with what is displayed by the computer. If they agree, that means program is working fine. Otherwise, there is some mistake in the program somewhere there. So you have to identify that one and rectify it. So instead of that, I have given you so many ideas. Try to use these rules so that they are acceptable by all different variety of compilers which are implemented on different computers. So one is the general rules, another is the special rules. Actually, there will be user manual will be there for each compiler. So there, first he will give all the things which are in the standard. Then there will be a section, he will say, these are the things which are in the standard, but we are not implementing in our compiler. Similarly, there will be another section where he will say, the following are not in the standard, but we have included this because some users have requested for this type of facility. So like that will be there. So if you try to use something which almost all type of compilers accept, then the program can run on any computer system with a different compiler. Otherwise, there will be, some of them will give the warnings and give the answer. Some of them will say they cannot understand what is written there, so they cannot compile it. That means they could not translate the user written program to an executable program so that it could process the correct information. So that is the idea. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes.
using this, you try to write a program. See, in this one, we can make actually 4 programs. You do it as homework and you tell me, and you can send it, you can mail it to me so that I will check whether it is, what is the condition. See here, in this problem, we have taken R as input data, D, A, and P as the perimeter. Is it not? Now,
Yes, sir.
you write a program where you take diameter as the input data, calculate the radius, area, perimeter, use applicable formulas, and make it suitable for any number of set of data like this, what I have given, using idea like this. Similarly, write another program where area of a circle is given, find what is the radius, what is the diameter, what is the perimeter. It becomes another program. Then you write another program where perimeter is given as input data, calculate the radius, diameter, and area. So 4 programs you can make. So use the similar type of structure or format or this arrangement of statements that are written there, and make 3 more programs for the different applications. So you send them, you mail me, so that I will be able to check and see how far you have understood. And if it is needed, I will try to give any additional extra explanation or other things I will try to give you. So you can also try it on the computer and send me what computer did, whether it was able to execute, so that you have understood everything what I have given, and faithfully every character has been put correctly, because every keystroke is a source of important error in programming. So you will be able to get the correct thing. So experience will make you an expert. There is no tablets available that is, take this red color pill once in the morning, once in the evening, in 1 week you become an expert. It is not there. You have to actually work like this. So ಕೆಲವಂ ಬಲ್ಲವರಿಂದ ಕಲ್ತು ಕೆಲವಂ ಮಾಡ್ಪವರಿಂದ ಕಂಡು ಕೆಲವಂ ಸ್ವತಃ ತಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಳಿಯಂದೆ ಸರ್ವಜ್ಞ. So something you learn from those who know, then something you try to do by those looking at those people who are doing it. That means maybe your friends who are writing the programs, you can cross check things like that. Then certain things you try on your own. That is what is essential thing. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Now, should we close for today?
Okay, sir.
Any doubts are there, you can tell me so that I can clarify in what I have
No, sir.
covered. Huh?
No, sir. Understood.
What about Kushi?
No, sir.
Huh?
I couldn't understand, sir.
Because that you should interact correctly, no? Otherwise I will not know whether following or not following. You see, that is the problem. Huh? So
Okay, sir.
even now also, you see, after the class, you try to go through the lesson once again. And I have forgotten to tell you, you can copy down these sentences, you know. You must keep a notebook and a pen or pencil like that, and write down the information there, so that if you do it several times, afterwards there is no need to copy anything. It will be in your mind, and you can straight away start writing the program. Actually, before writing the program, we have to do so many things, but I wanted to give you a sample of what is a user-friendly interactive program which can process this infinite number of sets of data. So this program that is written, even if there are 10 lakh data, keep on giving one by one, it will process everything, unless you enter the value as 0.0 for the radius. The moment that is entered, then the programmer has put in the condition there. When 0.0 is entered, do not go for calculating and printing the result, but leave the system and go out of the execution. So therefore, the computer stops only on receiving a data like 0.0. So this idea what we are using to stop the computer after our desired number of set of input data is called as end of data criteria. So end of data criteria is a particular data which will be entered as the last data, not to calculate the values, but to signal that we have already processed everything what we wanted to do, and now the computer can quit. It can hand over the control to the operating system, so that some other work can be done on the computer. That is the idea. These are not taught in the colleges or institutions. Number one, because teachers themselves will not know. Number two, the academic, this sample question papers and other things will be there. They will just give only, just read this, calculate it, print it, and end there. So this becomes something like a professional programming job. So that means you have made a excellent program for doing this much kind of a thing. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
So go through this. Please do this as a homework. And after you do it, you can mail me what program you have written by hand and what is the result that computer gave you. Maybe those things, screenshot, etc. You can give me so that I really know that you are following. We will make further improvements to produce more pleasing results, which will be more useful than what you have done right now today. You are
Okay,
able
sir.
to follow? Okay.
Sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
please note down anything that is not understood immediately and in the notebook or somewhere, because you should not forget. Next
Can you
class,
scroll up, sir?
uh,
Can you scroll up a little bit?
you didn't write down?
No, sir, just the while part of it.
Uh, so we can do that one. Otherwise, it is in the mind, you should be able to do it, because in classes what will happen is we write it on the blackboard and we erase it. Is it not? So
Yes.
if you write it in the mind, the steps, then you don't need again copying, etc. like this. But whatever you want, I will tell you, that is called as parallel processing. From the next class, what you do, as and when I am writing, I am also going very, very slow only. You note down in your notebook. Okay. So when that is done, simultaneously you are writing and you are listening also, and you are looking at the screen also. All the three will be there. And I am going very, very slow only. I am not doing very fast. Is it not? So that kind of a thing will increase your speed of understanding, speed of writing, etc. So examination also you must be able to write more faster. That means a free training is given now to take the notes and also to listen and also to see what is happening on the screen also. If you do that, that will be fine. Now, basic ideas you have got. Now, first is the what is something like declaration type of thing, which are common. It is just like a printed form. We will enter only between the two braces following the main function. So there we will have to describe what are the variables, what are the constants. Constants means where we are keeping, what is the number of decimal place accuracy that we are using, and what type of variables we are using, whether they can have a whole number or they can contain fractional values also. And then we know the formula which will connect the input data and the output data, and we use them for calculating using the rules available within the C programming language for making those calculations. Once that is done, we will print it. Since computer prints and it goes outside, we have to halt it till we note down the result. So when we print the results, you put a get CHA statement and give the message there that please press the enter key, so that we can either stop or go for repetition like that. And when we use this while as another block inside, it is necessary to see that before the closing bracket, you are reading the input data again, because you must change the radius value within that while block. If you don't change, it will become infinite. That means you are not changing the value of the radius. So whatever value it has entered, for same value, it will keep on repeatedly calculate and print, calculate and print, calculate and print. It won't stop at all. So therefore, before the closing brace of the while block, it is necessary to change the value of the variable, which is the control variable in the while block. You are able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
You should be able to try, Because make an attempt. Otherwise, I will give the thing again. There is no problem.
Okay, sir.
Huh?
Okay, sir.
With this idea, sir, please try it. If there is difficulty, I will definitely help you. So make some effort. So some amount of mental exercise is necessary, so that if you develop the thinking experience, then you will be able to solve any problem. You don't have to see it again and again something and write. Because in examination also same thing happens. You cannot see something and write it like that. Is it not? So everything should be in the mind. So that mental exercise you can do by trying to go through what did I write first, what did I write next, what was the next item that was there. Try to think a little bit. First time it may be a little difficult, second time it will be easy, third time is much more easier. Afterwards, without anything, simply you can write straight away like that, just like how I wrote it here. Is it not? I am also not referring anything or anything. Straight away from the mind I am doing. Only thing is what happens, although I try to give you the correct, clear, complete information, it so happens I will be thinking of the next step and the next step and the next step. So in that process, something I may miss. For example, you write your name using capital letters and show me. Write your full name using capital letters and show me on the camera. Well, let me see. You're able to follow?
Yes, sir.
No. Please write your name, full name using capital letters and show me on the camera. Now, why I asked is normally when people write their name using capital letters, one or two letters they will miss. Therefore, I asked that one. So that is because when writing with mixed letters there in the handwriting, everything comes correctly, clearly. But when you try to make all capital letters, it so happens that our thinking is the CPU speed. Mind will be working faster, but hand is the peripheral device. It will be slow. So if we miss fraction of a second, that one letter which we wanted to write is not there. So the next letter will start coming. So there will be missing of some letters. So that is why I asked you that exercise. Okay, please go through this. Please do that homework also. Send me your what you have done, whether you are followed or not followed, whether the result has come or not come. If there is any difficulty, I will help you. I will make you experts, nothing to worry. You are able to
Okay,
follow?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will close here for today, and then I will give you the next this after receiving your this one. I will plan for the next session and send this thing. So please tell your all friends, whoever is interested, they can join from their convenience of their own place. And I am not charging single paisa for anybody. It is totally free. I want everybody to become expert in the subjects what they are learning. Only thing is, it is slow and steady to win the race. There is no quick method of acquiring everything. We have to do it slowly, steadily, so that we will become experts. Otherwise, at learning stage, we cannot have anything like a fast track learning is not there. We have to work, work, and work. Practice, practice, practice. That is why I gave you the 3 types of problems that which you can do it as an exercise. Huh? So please try it. Please spread the message to others also. Let many people join, and I will help them. And every class, I will introduce some new ideas so that you will be able to become expert within a shortest possible time. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, she has network problem, so she's not able to respond. She told me.
I know something has gone there. Doesn't matter. So you try.
I will tell.
Yeah, you can get it rectified if possible. Once the network is all right, I think lesson is coming. This listening and all the audio, video, everything is fine. I really enjoyed. I hope you are also
Thank you, sir.
enjoying the
Thank you.
lessons.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.